A sneakerhead is someone who's so obsessed with sneakers that they're willing to forego paying their rent to say they own a shoe that they will never wear.
Mayhem at the mall this morning, 2 days before Christmas. It was chaos all over a pair of Michael Jordan tennis shoes. And the crowd got so unruly this morning that officers had to step in with pepper spray.
Riot police tried to calm nearly 1,000 shoppers outside of a shoe store.
Unfortunately, the marriage of the hype and the explosion in resale prices led to a predictable dark side.
Several people were trampled while others crawled over them to get inside.
Violence associated with sneaker releases has cropped up across the country.
You know, growing up here in New York, we've seen the kids getting jacked for their sneakers. You know, that was a normal thing. You see a dude on the subway and he's got no shoes on, you know he got his sneakers taken.
Brought a lot of jealousy. It brought a lot of, envy when it comes to you got a Jordan and I don't have a Jordan.
There's some deep down, desire to be seen in something, clean or fresh, or something that is desired, or something that's highly coveted.
That's the desperation of today's youth. That's a desperation that is pretty sad. That starts at home. That's not even about sneakers, that's about home.
There's always been people wanting what they can't have.
It's just an unfortunate thing that happens with anytime you have something that people want. Whether, the same thing you could say with jewelry or a bank. Banks are robbed because people want money.
No one asks the president of GM to do something about carjackings.
But it didn't surprise me that kids would become violent and really ferocious about these shoes, because the way they marketed them as if they're the dream.
They can absolutely be more responsible. They can change their release schedule. They can change how the shoes are released.
The shoe company should be able to grasp that they have control of what can and can't happen. The question is, are they willing to take a step back in time?
It's a really touchy subject because in business, people are lining up for my product. People are so excited about my product going out that they're making websites, they're taking pictures, they're sharing their friends. That's what you want in business, right? But you never want it to cross that line where people are killing each other for your product.
Sometimes this is cut and dry, it's a business deal. You gotta cause the blood of a close friend to spill, but you remember still.
In December, my son went on a Monday morning to purchase a raffle ticket in order to get the new Bread 11s that were going to be coming out December the 21st. They went to the mall, purchased the shoes, had no problem.
They were being followed and stalked. The strange car shadowed them to their neighborhood and opened fire on the young men. Joshua was shot in the head and died later that night.
My son was 22 years old when his life was taken, asking Lord, wishing that it was me in his place instead of him, because he has a son to look out for. You have individuals that are charged with capital murder because of this incident. Their life is gone. Their family is going through something. I will forever feel this pain. I will forever go through this. And that is what inspired me to come up with the organization Life Over Fashion. Every single year, somebody's life is taken over a pair of shoes. I want to make sure that when your child or even you go purchase these shoes, you don't have to worry about anyone going to hurt you. You don't have to worry about the violence associated with it.
For a while, they were releasing shoes at midnight. They found out that people were a lot more aggressive at midnight than they were at 8 o'clock in the morning, so they moved the releases to 8 o'clock in the morning to try to keep some of the rowdiness down. And it's worked, but it hasn't been eliminated totally.
It is an issue, and I think there's no magical solution right now.
With my persistence, Nike did contact me. I spoke with one of the VPs of Nike, and to this day, we are in constant communication. I actually spoke with Michael Jordan. He gave his condolences, and I asked him, could we meet and talk about a solution?
It's going to be hard to expand the business. People's closets are full. Storage units are full. Consignment shops are full. At some point, it's like, how many more shoes can you sell to the same kids?
You know, I own a store, so I just see people coming in that last year weren't shopping for sneakers at all, you know what I mean? So I think it's just going to keep growing and growing.
I've never seen people like my mom wear Free and Flyknits and bright colored soles on their shoes. It's so big and it's so widespread. To people that aren't necessarily in the sneaker game, that I think that the future is definitely happening in front of us.
If you open up the Chinese market, if you figure out India, the trick is selling to different people, not selling similar products to the same people.
Recently, with the popularity of sneaker culture, it's really obvious now that you have all these high-end companies that are doing sneakers that they've never done before.
Rich people walk into Gucci and buy Gucci sneakers because they have Gucci sneakers. Not because they automatically were like, oh my God, they're the most amazing sneakers. They were like, okay, we have sneakers for us.
I like it. It provides an opportunity for some sneaker enthusiasts to evolve.
It's our generation getting older to where, you know, some of these dudes, we don't want to shop for the 17-year-old kid shops, but we still want to show them that we have sneakers.
A lot of us is pushing 30 now. A lot of us is getting families and falling in real love. You know what I'm saying? And like you just kind of want to look at your pictures back then and look at them now and see some type of growth.
The streets have been referencing the high end since day one. I just think now it's nice that there's an open dialogue and a conversation happening, you know?
Besides being an enormous business, the sneaker culture is now an integral part of so many different worlds. From fashion to music to sport, kicks are everywhere.
Sneakers has always been a reflection of like who you want to be, who you believe you are, or where you come from.
How you're going to represent yourself and how you're going to portray yourself to the world through footwear is what sneaker culture is all about, really. That's the bottom line.
Shoes define who you are.
You know, sneakers are the status symbol for a generation that other generations don't understand.
I've had experiences with people who, like, I'll see someone staring at my feet and I got some, you know, whatever, retros on, and I'm giving a motherfucker a flashback.
The young kids are like, man, you got them old schools on. And the old schools is like, man.
With a lot of sneakers, and especially the retro market, you have people who are grown trying to buy things that either they had when they were a kid or they wanted when they were a kid.
I appreciate something because it looks good, it's well designed. All of the normal reasons that you would appreciate something, but I also have the other appreciation because I lived through it.
Without getting a Harley Davidson or a convertible or looking like some guy with a midlife crisis, I think a way that you could really retain that youth is with sneaker culture.
It's an opportunity for people to stay connected to, you know, the life they had when, you know, maybe things were less complicated.
Me taking home that shoe kind of signified things will be better. You know what I mean? My moms and my pops ain't getting along, they ain't together, and I'm living in the hood, I'm in the worst part of the city, in the worst part of times, you know, late 80s, and this was like a beacon of hope.
lot of us who fell in love with sneakers at one point are, we're getting to an age where you're just like, fuck, I can't wear a pair of wingtips. And so that love of, you know, sneakers it's gonna stay with a generation all the way.
Every time I break open a pair of shoes, man, like I feel like a kid again. You know, like I'm lacing it really carefully, and I used to do that when I was in 6th grade, you know what I mean? And I still do it that way to this day. I'm 39 years old now. I think I'm gonna feel that way for the rest of my life.
What is a sneakerhead? I have no idea. I'm just a guy who likes sneakers a little more enthusiastically than you.
Guys, it's Kith, it's GQ, sneakers and suits. I feel like we have some authority.
I believe that it's been done a certain way for a long time, and not to say that that's not the proper way of doing it, but I believe that there's a new, more progressive way of doing it.
The pants have got to be slim.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
So I don't like the break in the pant. I like a slimmer leg and a more tapered fit.
Right.
I'm gonna go with the Clay Ellington.
Okay.
It's a shoe that they've had in their line for a minute. One of those classic shoes that really look good with a suit just because of how tapered the toe is. All black upper, white sole, really comfortable, and that's something I feel like is overlooked a lot with those that are shopping for shoes for a suit, because you don't want to go home and start, you know, placing band-aids on your feet.
I'm sort of going the retro way. The 1970 all black Chuck Taylor. With the skinny pair of pants, you know, the break can come down a little bit over the high top. It's kind of like, I don't know, makes me think of the Strokes.
Can't go wrong with a pair of 1970s all black. With a suit, I feel like it's definitely a great choice.
Let's take them to outer space. The future of shoes with a suit.
In my opinion, Y3 has done a great job in creating these sleek boost models.
Right.
It's a knitted upper. It's very narrow. You know, other than a Converse or a Vans or a Stan Smith, this is like the new generation of what to wear with a suit. It's very sleek, mostly neoprene, and if you want to talk about comfort, I mean, you'll break dance in these.
It's like wearing socks on the dance floor.
That's right.
Kith and GQ, sneakers with suits.
If they don't listen to us, who are they going to listen to?
Unclear. Guys, if you have any questions for GQ, any style questions, leave them in the comments.
Try not to destroy us in the comment section, though. We're working hard here.
Yeah, we're working hard. Take it easy on us, all right? All right, we'll see you soon. Thanks.
So what's interesting is that Fairfax went from being a predominantly quiet Jewish little neighborhood in the middle of LA to being the epicenter of streetwear. Diamond Supply Company is right here. I mean, even across the street you have KO, which has now moved down here, which is DGK and some of the biggest skate brands. So Supreme, of course, was one of the first down here and really helped set that scene. And even now you'll see kids lined up to get some of the new Air Force Ones that got out. You see people like Freddie Gibbs right there. What up, sir? And this is kind of the first original consignment shop here in LA, Flight Club LA right behind me, where every day kids are dropping off their shoes to sell. People are coming in to buy some of the rarest, most exclusive, and most importantly, kicks you can't find in any other store. Greatest of all time, you can never have enough of these.
I mean, Jordan 11, that's my favorite shoe ever. Concord, it's just so clean. You could wear this at your wedding. You could wear this to play basketball. I mean, it's the perfect shoe.
This is it. That's all you need. Yep. There's nothing better than this. Yeah, they're great, dude.
You know what's sick though? These ones with the gum sole, and these are like the Novo Premium ones, even though I don't like the tongue and the logo on them as much. That gum sole and like that metallic silver. I'm gonna grab these ones. These are crack. I just got these. I might get a second one. And for 80 bucks, these are crazy. You know what I love too? Low key, these are almost like the sneaker boot things. I didn't like the way they look until I saw them on my feet. And they're one of the most comfortable, and they look awesome and great for the winter. I might have to grab it. And this color is kind of crazy. I'm gonna buy too much shit today.
A real sneakerhead knows everything about sneakers, about that shoe, why it's cool, why it looks good.
Beginning in the 90s, the popularity of the limited edition collab took off. Major sneaker companies began teaming up with celebrities, graffiti artists, musicians, and specialty retailers who put their own stamp on customized models released in small quantities only. These collaborations intensified the frenzy, driving more and more collectors to the burgeoning limited edition market. This all created yet another opportunity for the collector.
Before sneakers, I was a trained graphic designer. So we did a lot of magazine work, editorial design, logo design. And I already had our clothing line, Staple Pigeon. That started in '97. That was really underground, but a lot of people, had a strong following for Staple Pigeon as well. The day that I finally got to meet with Nike, it just clicked. They were like, wow, you're a designer, you have a clothing line, you have a store, you're a sneakerhead, you're knowledgeable about shoes, like, we need to work together. It was easy at that point. Nike approached me and said, the Dunk, which is one of the most iconic shoes, we're having an anniversary, and we want to celebrate it in various cities in the world that, like, were epicenters of sneaker culture. So they said, we would like you guys to do the New York one if you'd be interested. And I was like, fuck yeah. Am I allowed to curse? Okay. Would I want to do the most iconic shoe for the most iconic shoe company for the best city in the world and have me do it? Yeah, I think I want to do that one. I was like, let me think about it. Yes. One of the reasons why we gravitated towards the Pigeon is actually because of the dope colorways that just embody what the bird is. So it's like different shades of gray, and then you've got pops of white, pops of black, right? And then, of course, the pigeon pink bottom, which is a must-have. We decided to add the embroidery on the back, which I think was a good call because it eventually became pretty historic that we did that. In terms of material choice, too, we went with like a nubuck over here so that it felt soft like an animal. This might have been the shoe that changed sneaker culture forever, because after this hit, and after this was on the front page of the papers and of the evening news, old ladies that live on Central Park West all of a sudden were now knowing that people were doing this for sneakers. It just opened the floodgates, and it was because of this guy right here.